How do I run Java apps upscaled on a high DPI display? I'm trying to run a Java app, jar file, on a high DPI display on Windows 10. The app uses swing and thus isn't DPI aware. Normally, when I run an application that isn't DPI aware, Windows will scale it for me, albeit blurry. But for some reason, it's not scaling the Java app. I just get a tiny little window in the corner with impossible to read text. How do I run a Java app with Windows high DPI blurry scaling?
Just found an easy solution on my Windows 10 machine. Find java.exe you installed. Right-click Properties. Go to Compatibility tab. Check Override High DPI Scaling Behavior. Choose System 4 Scaling Performed by Column.
The problem here seems to be that Swing is by default claiming that it is DPI aware, so Windows doesn't scale it. Use this switch to turn off this behavior and Windows will start scaling your Swing app. Edit: unfortunately, this flag no longer seems to work in Java 8. I was testing it in Java 6. Looks like this is a known issue. Edit 2: you can modify a Java 8 install to work correctly, using a program to modify the exe manifests. I changed the setting from true to false in the manifests inside of java.exe and java.exe, and now my Swing programs scale correctly in Windows 10 high DPI. I used Resource Tuner to this. Edit 3, just use Java 9.
If you stumbled across this question but are actually looking for a solution that works on Linux, this is for you. If you can add parameters to the Java binary which launches the application, you can use the option D to pass a value for the sun.java2d.uScale property to specify a scaling factor for Java 2D. This will scale your application. The scaling factor value is a double. Make sure that you pass this option to the Java binary itself, not the launched Java application. Example, launch near infinity.jar with a UI scaling factor of 2.5. Alternatively, you can set the GDK_scale environment variable. Example. I found this Arch Linux wiki article quite useful in general for running Linux on high-DPI systems, and some of the things might work on Windows as well.
Solution: run it on Java 9. This is because the Java runtime declared itself to be DPI aware but didn't really supported it for Alt and Swing. Java applications were sized and rendered based on pixels rather than being properly scaled. This included high-DPI displays. Anyways, this has been recently solved. See the issue JEP 263, high-DPI graphics on Windows and Linux. And the upgrade. So, increasing the font size does not work, because it does not increase the rest of the things. The JVM argument dsun.java2d.dpaware equals false does not work, because it is not really supported, and the manifest file plus registry edit, for Windows, just does not work. Then, you need to run it on Java 9 because it really supports this feature.
To force all Java executables to have properties is greater than compatibility is greater than DPI scaling mode set to system. In an administrator PowerShell, we next a run. To undo. Instead of who you could use HKLM, but then you cannot change the DPI scaling setting manually anymore in the properties is greater than compatibility dialog of the java star.exe files.
If you want to support channel, please consider subscribing.